How does it feel to be such a widely known and successful fighter? Did you ever imagine that you would achieve the level of success that you have?
I had, it was just a vision I had. I knew I was good. Well, not knowing that I was good, I knew I had talent to be well known. So it was never, I never second questioned myself. You could ask any great athlete that was, you just know, you know what I'm saying? When you see other athletes and the way they move and their body mechanics and the way you move, it's like no comparison. You know, the way you get stuff, the way you work, it's just something that I think you know right from the get go.
So you knew that you would be very successful. You didn't have any doubt.
I had no doubt in my mind.
Why would you say you've been so successful so far? Like, what about you or your training makes you so successful?
I think just my before it was just me being aggressive and in your face and knock you out style. But now people are thinking that that's all I do, gas me out, and that's it. But yeah, that was the case a few times. I adjusted my training style, my approach to a fight, and so I'm a little more conservative when I'm doing. I'm still in your face kind of fighter. And I think it's just because we constantly evolve, and Greg's always helping us constantly learning new moves, different techniques, different situations. And I think that's why we stay ahead of the game always, is because when someone does something cool, we notice it. Yeah, now we find a counter for that and how to take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, every time I watch you fight, you go in like you want to kill the guy. Is there like a switch that goes off in your head, or do you just prefer to fight aggressively?
I prefer to fight aggressively because like I said, I've adjusted my game plan a little bit. I could go aggressively now and not totally gas out. Like I tell people, if you get a Ferrari and you just run it, the thing, I don't give a crap how well built the car is. If you just gun it, that thing's gonna blow within the quarter mile or little over a quarter mile because it can't sustain that rev.
Yeah.
And so same thing. What I was doing, I was over revving myself, and I was like a drag car going down the drag strip, just trying to take it all out. And then halfway through the fight, I used all my gas. It's not that I'm not in shape. It's just I wasn't conserving my gas tank properly. Now I've adjusted and I learned how to conserve my gas tank, and so I'm able to be just as aggressive, but just smarter.
So would you say that your few losses had was contributed to because you ran out of gas too early?
That and neck issues.
Neck issues?
Yeah.
What happened there?
I had a C5, C6 neck fusion. I had a mess of neck for about 2 years.
Oh, really? I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, no, I basically broke my neck and I had to get screws in it.
And how did that happen?
Just training, I blew out my disc and it was just really hard to stay consistent. I heard it before my Demetrius Johnson fight, and I never, all the way until the Brian Bolt fight, I just had a bad neck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finally got it fixed. Cause I was getting ready to fight Kid Yamamoto, and then I really hurt it. I literally broke my neck, and I had to get it fixed. And I got 3 screws in my neck.
I wasn't aware that you had went into those fights with an injury. Do you think you would
Oh
have
yeah,
do you think you would have won the fight if you weren't injured?
oh yeah. I would have beat Demetrius Johnson. It shows in the fight. First round and a half, I'm just throwing him around, beating him up, and then he kicks me in the nuts, and then it kind of changes. You see the swaying of the fight big time after that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it was I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't train with a team. I couldn't wrestle. I couldn't spar. I remember Nick Russell hit me, one of my training partners, and it dropped me, but it wasn't such like a chin. It was more a shock, even at the top of the head, and my whole body went numb and I hit the ground.
Oh, wow.
Like a shock, what I'm saying? Like an electric shock. It wasn't like
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
days you're walking around and trying to dance. No, don't, and the lights were on, but the body shut off for a split second. And that's when I knew it was a little serious, and then I kind of got it rehab on it, and it started feeling better again. Never the same, but it got a little bit better, and then I really messed up really bad before my Kid Yamamoto fight.
So you said it's still not the same. You're still not 100%.
it now. It's the first time in my career I am. I'd say these last 2 years. Well, after my Brian Bolts, or not my Brian Bolts, after my Brad Pickett fight, that was my first fight back after my neck surgery. That was a fun one, but it was like one of those things, hit the ground running, It's like how do you come back from a neck surgery when you fight a top 5 guy in the world?
Yeah. That's
I
not
hit
too
the
fair.
ground running, saying they had my feet under me, and then I kind of mind fucked myself when I fought Bruce Leroy. So the crazy thing about it is that everybody I fought and lost to was a title contender, a title challenger, or they're on a 5-fight win streak.
Yeah. So what would you say is the difference in skill level between top UFC guys like Demetrius Johnson, Brad Pickett, and Brian Bowles, and the lesser-known fighters you fought? Are they like leagues ahead of everyone else?
You can see it in my fight against Matt Lozano. The kid's very tough. First round, it was a close round. I'd say he probably won the first round, but we went back in the corner and I adjusted. When he told me to do this, and like Jeffrey said, more fakes and feints, throw more jabs, don't chase him around so much because he's countering you. So we did that, and it's just a fine tuning, fine adjustments. We're gonna beat these younger fighters up when they don't have that. It's just he got that something that they don't have. Like look at a Michael Jordan. They have it. They know how to turn it on. They know how to adjust. They know how to do it, but the average fighter can't do it yet. They're not at that level yet.
Yeah.
So that's the way I'm able to beat these guys on the small circuits because I'm able to adjust. I'm able to do little adjustments to capitalize on stuff. Where you fight these Brian Bowles, Brad Pickett, Demetrius Johnson, it's a high level chess match.
So you'd say there's a large difference in skill level between the guys in like the UFC and LFC or WEC?
No, not skill level. On the way you put your pawns and your queens and kings where you're putting them. That's it.
So the strategy that they use?
Exactly, the strategy. It's not they're just as good. A lot of these guys are really, really good. It's just they put their pawn here when they should have put it on the other side, or you know what I'm saying? Just little things like that. Just you're not gonna get good at it until the more times you play.
Mm-hmm. So, out of all of your fights, you've only won one by decision, right? The rest were finishes? So, do you purposely try to finish the fight early, or are they just like no match for you? How does that happen?
No, I try to finish. Every time I see an open, I try to finish, It's just one of those things, like, you gotta go to the judges and you lose. I've lost 2 decisions because it went to the judges and I lost, and they're both overseas,
So you don't want it to be like in the hands of somebody else, basically.
I don't. You can't because I don't know what channel they're watching. I know what channel I'm on. I don't know what they're watching. It's proven fact. I've seen it more than once with some of these fights.
So out of all of your,
I'm watching fighting and they're watching Discovery Channel.
So out of all of your fights, who would you say was the most challenging?
You know what? I would say the most fun fight I had was against Brad Pickett.
Why Brad Pickett?
Because we were just rocking robots in our face. It was just one of those things, like I said, I kind of hit the ground running with him. He was, I went out there like a race car and I didn't pace myself. He paced himself and he was able to capitalize on that and he caught me with a 3-punch combination that kind of hurt me. So I took the shot and then he took my back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I say. A lot of these guys, we adjust, because that first round was really, really close, and then now we adjust. And what happened was, is he went to his corner and he adjusted, and I did it, and that's why I lost.
So if you could go back to that fight, you would try to pace yourself and slow down a little bit more?
I would set it up more, and then I would listen more to my corner on the adjustments in between rounds. Mm-hmm. It was a great fight already. It probably would have became a fight of the year candidate if I would have adjusted and I would have paced myself right.
It's still a good fight. So
yeah, very good fight. Very exciting.
How did you get the name the Angel of Death?
I was fighting in Canada. I think it was like my 5th or 6th fight, and I had beat this guy Stephane Vignot, and then his training partner, Terry Quinville, was talking a bunch of mess, and he was saying I got lucky because I hit him with the right hand and knocked his training partner out. So he's like, oh, you got lucky because I knocked, I think it was like a minute 50 into the round. And
Really?
he was like, oh, you got lucky, this ain't going to happen to me. And I was like, whatever. Well, come see it. We're going at it. I hit him with a body shot. I take him down. He goes for an armbar. This is within a minute. He goes for an armbar. I pick him up and rampage slam him.
Nice.
Knock him out in a minute 20. So not only was my fight a fluke for the first one, I knocked him out 30 seconds faster than I knocked out his friend.
And right after another, right? Just after you finished one fight, you fought another dude and beat him too?
I think, no. It was just a one-night fight.
Okay.
But after that, I went back to the locker room, and we're sharing the locker room with one of I think we're in the blue corner, and one of the guys, coaches, comes to me like, "Oh my God, that was crazy!" In a Canadian voice, French Canadian voice. Oh my God, man, he's crazy! Crazy! You picked that guy up and like killed him. You like the angel of death. You killed the guy, just like that. So I was like, man, there we go. There's my nickname.
And it just stuck ever since.
Yep.
So, if you could get into the ring with anyone, who would it be? Would you want to get back into the ring with like Brad Pickett or Demetrius Johnson, or someone else?
I would love to get with either or, but right now I would love to fight Henry Cejudo.
Who?
Henry Cejudo.
Oh.
He's a gold medalist for wrestling, and I want to fight him. I really do.
Why is that?
Yeah, I felt it like he was disrespecting me, not verbally, but as an athlete, I think he's trying to backdoor his way to the UFC. He's not trying to fight me. I think he's trying to go fight one more guy, and they'll pick him up just because he's a gold medalist. But if you want to be the best, you got to fight the best, and I was supposed to fight for a title this last fight, and he backed out, and so I didn't fight for a title. So I think he disrespected me. I felt like he disrespected me. He took something away that was rightfully mine.
So you think he backed away from the title because he thought he would lose against you?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not saying he thinks. I'm just saying he knows I'm a dangerous fighter.
Yeah, you are a very dangerous fighter.
He knows I get punched. He knows I can wrestle. And so it's just a very dangerous fight for the guy. And you know what? I want to get back to the UFC. I want to fight the best guys. I want to get back. So I'm just here like, who do I have to fight? Who do I need to beat? And he was on my radar. I know if I beat him, I'm back in. But his goal is trying to get to the UFC too. So.
Do you think you'll be back in the UFC?
That's a dangerous fight. If I lose, then I'm a year, 2 years behind now. Instead, if I back out the fight and they say this or that, I'll take one more fight and I'll be in by the end of the year.
So if you won this fight, you would have been back in the UFC by the end of the year, you said?
I know God in my mind I'd be back.
So what's next for you in your career? Do you have any plans past the LFC? Like, do you want to become a coach, or you want to go back to the UFC, or like, what are your goals?
My goal is to get back to the UFC. I'm healthier than I've been in years, and I'm in shape, and just like I want to give it my all, give my last run, and maybe my last run consists of a title shot, and then after that I have 2-3 more fights after that, and then I'm out, and then I can do whatever I decide to do. I haven't 100% decided what I want to do yet, but more likely I'll move to Houston.
You say you wanted to move to Easton after that?
Oh, Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, that's like 20 minutes away from me. I was surprised.
Oh. Houston, down south in the dirty, humid place.
So if you go back to the UFC, do you think you'll be coming back even stronger than you were before? Like, are you a better fighter than you were in the past?
I think I'm a lot calmer, a lot more focused on what I have to do. I know I'll be damaging that weight class, and it's just I train with John Dodson. I train with Ali Maganov. I can't even say his name right. But saying that off the title, and I do great against them. We have fun in the room, and it's not they don't kick my butt. I don't kick their butt. We just have fun, and we're very competitive. And if I can hang with those in practice, then why can't I hang with anybody in the UFC? I'll be a title contender too, because I train with two title contenders in my gym.
Yeah, you've definitely proved yourself.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans or sponsors that will be listening to this interview?
Just keep your eyes open. Just try to be quick. My name is gonna be all over the place again. Get behind me and show your support. I appreciate everybody that's been behind me for my whole career. But keep your eyes open because it's gonna happen.
All right. So that'll be all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sounds good. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night.